Bureau Nation to the Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub. Here's your host, Paul Tipton.
Well, hey there, boys and girls. The football season is in full swing now. Week 1 in the books. Welcome to Caps Pizza and the Coach's Corner. I'm Paul Tipton, along with Coach Jankowski and Gary Paris. We had an interesting ball game last Friday night, taking on Jensen Beach. And it took us a little while to get the kickoff, but we eventually got there. And the Indians end up winning that ball game 34-0. Congratulations, Coach, on your first official win of the season.
Thank you. It was a good one. You know, obviously there was a lot of hype going into that game with you know, two of the better teams in the area, you know, over the last several years. And so we were excited, obviously, to get the game in. First and foremost, I think there was a 75-minute delay, you know, to start the game. I was speaking with our administration about that after the fact that, you know, I think it's the first time in all my years of coaching that there was a weather delay, that there was no weather. You know, the lightning was, you know, at a distance, maybe, you know, nine miles or whatever sets off the lightning meter. And it never got any closer. We didn't get any rain. And so I think, you know, thank goodness our fans hung in there for us. And when that 75-minute delay was up and I looked up in the stands, it seemed as if there were more people there than when we were first getting started. So it was a good night. It was senior night for us. So we got to recognize, you know, our seniors. We try to do that early in the season to let them understand not only is it senior night, but it's their senior season and allow them to enjoy the entire season as well as, you know, a very special game.
Coach, we finally got this game kicked off. It took a few possessions before we started to find some rhythm. Do you think that those early possessions was because of the delay, or is it just because, you know, Jensen Beach had a good defense, or what was the case?
Yeah, and we didn't help ourselves. Yeah, I mean, you know, on occasion, and I mean, I'm not going to – we've been through enough practices where things get interrupted, and we try to use those opportunities to, you know, impress our players that, you know, there are going to be situations on Friday night where things are going to be interrupted and you're going to have to deal with those types of things. So when we come out, we need to be ready. And I really, you know, I probably didn't call the best plays, and we didn't have the best, you know, approach to those first couple, you know, the first couple drives. And really we had great field position. We started the game with a very good kickoff return from Marcus Melbourne. So we started on our side of the 50, and then we went 3 and out. And I was telling our players, I can't remember the last time that we've punted one time on their side of the 50, and we did it on back-to-back possessions. And I really wasn't excited to do that, to be fully transparent. But I think it was, you know, it is a complementary sport in that, you know, we were able to pin them back and allow our defense to really set the tone. And I think that was the key in the game. Our defense set the tone early on those first 2 possessions. We still played the field position game back and forth. And then once we got it rolling, we scored 5 consecutive possessions, touchdowns, and had some great individual performances. And you'll get to talk to a couple of those guys tonight. But yeah, so all in all, against you know, a well-coached team, very talented players, we were able to finish, I feel like in a fairly dominant fashion with a 34-0 win, really in 3 quarters of play.
Coach, when you have a 75-minute delay, what people were asking us around, what do they do inside? What happens? What are the guys doing? And how do you keep them under control? What do you calm down? What's it like on a 75-minute delay in the locker room?
I probably should maybe wear one of those YouTube or those GoPro cameras and make YouTube videos or something. It's just you really are just waiting for the thing to clear, and you're constantly looking. We've got an app that shows you, okay, in 15 minutes this should clear, and then it'll reset. Our coaches attack like Rice Krispie treats, and so I've got to keep our coaches away from the halftime snacks. So that's a big challenge for me myself. But our players do a pretty good job, and if we can keep our coaches in check, then we're all right.
Coach, you mentioned it was only 3 quarters because as we started the 4th quarter, the horn sounded again. Obviously, there was a conversation between you and Coach Caffey about, do you wait it out or do you call the game? Can you share a little bit of what that conversation was like?
Yeah, I just completely left it up to them, because they were the team that was down, and so I wasn't going to force their hand either way. And I think originally he was thinking about waiting it out, and then just decided that we were well into the game. I think the fourth quarter had already started, and so with the score the way it was, just decided to get out of there, and so we called it, and that was that. I mean, it was probably the right call, and just the way the weather was acting on us. You just can't predict, and it had been a long night up to that point for both sides.
Right,
so that's how we decided. But yeah, I just provided some home field courtesy and left it up to those guys.
You talked about in last week's episode of Coach's Corner about making the improvement from week 0 to week 1, and that could be the biggest jump. What did you see?
A lot of improvement. I thought in all three phases. First and foremost, I thought we improved in the special teams play. I mean, we weren't perfect, and we'll still have to continue to improve. We'll improve on our kick coverage and things like that. But I thought the return game was better. And then, I thought defensively we were flying around. I thought we were tackling very well. Like I said, I thought that we set the tone. And then we were able to, there are some situational statistics that we look at each and every week. We were 4 for 4 scoring touchdowns in the red zone. We were very good on third downs, where we were very efficient on third downs as an offense, and our defense was very stingy in giving up third downs. So those money downs we were good at. And those type, we were very good in explosive plays. We define the explosive plays as 15 yards or more on passing plays and 12 yards or more on runs. We were dominant in that area. So, I mean, those types of situational statistics, what I found over the years, that those really make the difference in the game.
Yeah, speaking of your defense, I mean, I'm thinking back through the course of that game and some very key moments like Huggins with the sack that on that third down play that really forced a punt in that situation, because they were like on a third and short.
They were.
Right? And so you think about that play, you think about some of the plays that Hillsman made, you think about some of the plays that were also made with Tristan Davis getting pressure in there and forcing the quarterback to maybe not stay in the pocket or do things that he didn't really want to do.
Yeah, so Caden's play, I mean, I think that was a 3rd and 4 play. And so Caden puts pressure on him, and he gets to the quarterback and gets a sack. And then we end up, they're 3rd and 4, and we end up with a -11 on that play. So now they're 4th and 15, So those types of plays that, as you're watching a game, you just cheer, yeah, we got a sack. But it makes a big difference in the outcome. And like I said, each phase complements the next. We get the ball back and go down and score. So all those situations are very, very critical. We call those money downs, and we were very good, last Friday night on money downs.
And again, it was a shortened game, so you only got 36 plays in, but you got 309 yards in. So you got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I mean, we look at that, yards per play call. That's one of the things that we look at after each game, and we were, 8+ yards per play call. We'll take that. But there are plays that, we obviously, we've got to get better at. We wish we'd have a do-over here or there. But all in all, Champ was very efficient, obviously, accounted for all 5 touchdowns, 3 through the air, 2 with his legs. We were very good in the red zone. He was very efficient in completed 85% of his passes. I mean, that's tough to do on air, much less when the bad guys are out there, and so so we're doing the right things in the right places and continue to improve and continue to work through the week. Each week is a new challenge. This Tuesday we've speaking on today, we had a lot to get done in preparation for Atlantic, and the next will be the same. So there's a lot to get done in that Monday through Thursday, and if we can do that, then Friday nights will be a little easier on us.
All right. Well, we are heading towards week 2, but our week 1 helped last week. Our players of the game, Champ Mons and also Jamari and Hillsman, are here with us. We're going to step aside. We'll come back and talk to those guys. Coach's Corner continues right after this.
Hi, JW here from Barker Air Conditioning and Heating, serving the Indian River County area since 1959 and supporting fighting Indian sports for decades. We're known for being HVAC specialists for installation and service. Local, licensed, and insured, Barker is a trained comfort specialist that services all makes and models. BarkerAC.com.
Cafe 66, located on US 1 just south of 8th Street. At Cafe 66, our breakfast menu is all about variety, from biscuits and gravy to country fried steak and eggs to Nutella stuffed French toast. Our lunch and dinner menus have something for everyone, from barbecue platters to unique burgers. Our hours online at cafe66vero.com. We proudly support the Fighting Indians.
The Fighting Indians rely on teamwork, and so does Christian FM. One of those teammates is Scott Sporting Goods. Scott Sporting Goods features an array of sporting equipment, including clothes and shoes. They are also the ones that fit our Fighting Indians broadcast team with the Fighting Indians apparel. Located in downtown Vero Beach, 1407 20th Street. Their phone number is 778-0661. Thanks to Scott Sporting Goods.
Christian FM and the Fighting Indians would like to thank Morrison Plumbing for their support. Family owned and based in Vero Beach, Morrison Plumbing has more than 4 decades of experience providing residential and commercial plumbing services, including plumbing and leak repair. Morrison Plumbing Service online at morrisplumbingservice.net.
The Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub.
So last Friday night, it was week 1, the season opener. We had Jensen Beach in the house, and after the weather delay, Vero Beach got on the field and took care of business 34-0. They improved to 1-0 on the season. The guys that helped us get there, Champ Mons, Jamari and Hillsman, our Scott Sporting Good players of the game. Guys, thanks for taking some time out. I know this is always a busy time of the year, especially when you're dealing not with just weather delays in the game, but weather delays in practice as well, guys. I mean, that's got to be something. Champ, we talked beforehand. I was going to ask you this, and we talked to Coach about this. When you're dealing with weather delays, that's got to be a little frustrating at times. So on Friday night, you're geared up, you're ready to get out there on the field, and all of a sudden the horn goes off. What goes through your mind? What do you do to get in a good place for the next few minutes?
I mean, when it first goes off, you'll be a little angry, but, Coach has us. We always sit for a long time whenever there's rain delays during practice, so we could just, practice if we ever have to go out. So week 1, it was a perfect example of us having to sit out for the rain delay and then have to come out and play. During the rain delay, I just try to, stay quiet, keep my mind focused. That way, as soon as I get back out, I can stay locked in.
Jamari, what about you, man? When you got a delay like this, what do you do? What's your process?
I really just think to stay focused, keep the team focused, and get ready for the where it go.
All right. So do you guys have any things running, kind of little side bets going on, like over under on how many Rice Krispie treats that Coach Floyd's going to eat or anything like that? Or
Nah.
Coach DeLuke, anybody come to mind? I mean, Coach Jay even. I mean, he said he eats some. So yeah, right. All right, Champ. We get out on the field. It took us a couple of series before we started to click. What do you feel like changed from Series 1 to Series 3, where you found Marcus Melbourne?
We really just had to focus. I feel like coming out of the rain delay, we were a little drowsy. Some guys, we just got to really stay focused throughout that whole thing. But, when we got on the sideline after the second drive, I got on some of my receivers, got on some of my teammates just to, get them ready to go back out there. So I feel like we all came out there locked in on Series 3, and we did what we had to do.
Champ, you got a whole new set of weapons almost pretty much out there. I mean, you got Marcus Melbourne coming back, but it was good to see guys like Micah Roberts and obviously Mark Johns catching the ball and doing something with it to get into the end zone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's that like for you? I mean, you got a whole new crew. I mean, especially we haven't even talked about that offensive line yet.
No, it's great to have these new wide receivers. Last year we had a great core. This year we had one just as good. These guys have really just been building that chemistry all throughout the spring, summer, and, still now. They've been doing a great job. I feel like they're only going to get better as the season goes.
Jamarian, you had a really good night on the field. 9 tackles, 5 solo, man, and 2 tackles for loss, man. That's a pretty good deal. You feel pretty good about that game?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? What's it been like for you? I mean, we haven't had a chance to talk. So you had the off season and whatnot. I mean, what did you feel like in the off season was important for you to improve on?
Just improve on being a better leader, leading defense, making all the little things right.
And you do have some new faces on that defensive side. So what have you been able to do to help bring these guys up to speed on the Vero defense?
Just, I don't know.
Coach them up?
Ball. Yeah.
Coach them up?
Coach them up on their plays and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. So we've got game 1 in the books. We got game 2 coming up here this Friday night. Atlantic Del Rey, the Eagles. When you've watched film, what do you see?
They got great players, great schemes. Should be a good game.
Yeah. Champ, what about you?
I feel like they got a lot of good athletes on their defense, well-coached team. Like Jermaine said, I think it's going to be a good game. We just got to go out there and execute, and I feel like we'll get the job done.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate the time as always, and best of luck this coming Friday night. You got Champ Mons, Jamarian Hillsman, our Scott Sporting Good players of the game from last week. We're going to take a break, come back. Gary and Coach will join, and we'll talk about our upcoming game this Friday night. It's Coach's Corner. We'll be back.
Hi, JW here from Barker Air Conditioning and Heating, serving the Indian River County area since 1959 and supporting fighting Indian sports for decades. We're known for being HVAC specialists for installation and service. Local, licensed, and insured, Barker is a trained comfort specialist that services all makes and models. BarkerAC.com.
Thanks to Longevity Rehab Centers in Vero Beach and Sebastian, owned by locals whose mission is to help heal those who are hurting with the goal of getting them back to a productive life. Longevity Rehab has built a reputation of trust with their clients from the top down, offering both physical and massage therapy designed to restore, relieve, or maintain a healthy lifestyle. Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, Cigna, United Healthcare, Health First, Medicare, and most insurances are accepted. LongevityRehab.com.
Mazzarella's Auto Sales and Mazzarella's Auto Service is proud to be sponsors of the 2025 edition of the Fighting Indians in their quest for the state championship. Mazzarella's has long been a destination for locals who place their trust in their ASA-certified mechanics, along with their late-model pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Mazzarella's at the corner of First Street and Old Dixie Highway.
The Coach's Corner, presented by Cap's Pizza and Pub.
Well, here we are back. We're live at Cap's Pizza. I'm Paul Tipton, along with Gary Paris and Coach Jankowski, and we've got week one in the books, 34-0 win over Jensen Beach. Now we turn our attention to week two, and that is Delray Atlantic. And, Coach, the Eagles come in here. They've got a storied program that has had a lot of success for a long time. First and foremost, how did we end up with these guys on the schedule?
Well, I mean, we're on the front end of a 2-year cycle where we're looking for games, and I think they're a top 5 program in the state. I think currently ranked in the top 5, and always, as you mentioned, a very storied program. I think they went to however deep they made it last year, and so it was just one of those opportunities to play another talented football team, and obviously, we had a great season last year, so you've got to get, when you're making a schedule, you got to get cooperation from the other team to schedule, and they were willing to do that, and so we're excited to have an opportunity to play these guys. We haven't played them in my time here, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, last week they played Spanish River, won 18-7. Mm-hmm. Kind of give us anything from the film. What do you see?
Just a lot of team speed. I mean, you could, really just kind of from what I've seen over the years with Atlantic football teams, kind of close your eyes and imagine what you're going to see. You're going to see a very athletic football team, on both sides of the ball, multiple playmakers on offense, a lot of team speed on defense. They mix their coverage as well. They'll bring pressure with their front four just because they're going to be, freakish and athletic on the edges and do some things. So we'll have, our hands full for sure. But like I said, I think, my most enjoyable part of coaching is the preparation piece and getting ready for these guys Monday through Thursday will be a challenge, but I feel confident that our players will be up to it.
Coach, you trade film out. I guess you get it on Sunday. Or Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And let me ask you something. When I was studying and reading about Atlantic, I went over the last year's looked at last year's stats and everything. The first time we get a chance to play them, and I look at these names, and I'm like, well, the quarterback's not back. Mm-hmm. This guy's not back. This guy's not back. Then this guy, he's like, well, who is, and that's, I have a friend down there that coaches, and he said, that's all part of our area now. It's the way it is. Kids are gonna transfer in and transfer out, and it's part of the southeastern area down there.
I mean, I think we said it last week. I think there are, certain parts of our state where you could throw a rock and you could hit about 15 different schools.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so when the further south that you get, you're in those pockets and those areas, and yeah, they've got a transfer quarterback that, you know, came from another high school. And I mean, I really don't spend a lot of time looking at last year just for those kinds of reasons, you know, that there's going to be different personnel, sometimes different coaches, different scheme, all of that involved. So, it's just kind of the world of high school football these days, you know, and I think the further south you get, the more chances of running into that you get.
Coach, last week with that delay, I mean, obviously as the athletic director, you have to have some type of input and things on what goes on there. But like when you have a situation like that, I mean, you have a crew that can help take care of things. How was that? I mean, because that's always an interesting deal. You know, sometimes you hope that it's like a quick weather delay, but when it's longer like that, do you feel like everything went well, or how does that work out?
Yeah, it was unique. And like I think we were talking earlier in that usually in weather delays, people are getting soaked and they're running for the hills, you know, and they're running to stay dry and all this. In this case, everybody's just hanging around. So I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned. There's value to every experience. You know, that's an experience that, we were able to go through as an administrative team and everybody involved. We're very fortunate to have some great booster people to help out on Friday nights. And so there's a lot of moving parts, whether there's delays or not. To make a Friday night what we've learned to see a Friday night be at Vero Beach High School over the last 16 years, how it's grown into. I remember, when I first got to Vero and people were talking and I said, what happened? I've only been gone 5 years. And they said, well, people have stopped coming to games and, there's nobody in the stands. Well, there's a lot of people at our games, you know what I mean? And we're excited about that. So we're excited that our students want to come. We're excited that we're lucky to have all the fans that enjoy watching all these very talented players play. I mean, it is, there's a lot, whether there's a delay or not, there's a lot that goes on into making it happen the way it happened. So I'm very appreciative to all the people that help out on Friday nights.
Absolutely.
You guys included.
I appreciate that. All right. Obviously, there's a new method this year for getting tickets. And does that seem to be going well so far?
So far, so good. I mean, the situation with GoFan is that you can basically, for those that are familiar with like a Ticketmaster, where you go and you can look and you can pick out anywhere you want to sit on the home side. And if you the closer to the 50, you can look and find those spots. So those are available per game right now. So you can go and buy individual game tickets. I think we usually get those up and running on Thursdays for the game that's coming up. If you'd like to sit on the visitor side, you can do that the same way. We do offer a cash option on the visitor side, and that's general admission on over there. Still have student tickets, and we give our students a break. They've got to buy those during the week. But yeah, I mean, it's a Friday nights are a special time at Vero Beach High School, and we're proud of what happens at the Citrus Bowl.
I can tell you from personal experience, it's actually a kind of a cool thing to be able to go on there and find some seats and then buy them, and then just, even if you need to send them to somebody else, pretty cool process. So I highly recommend it. It's a good deal there. So, all right, Coach. Well, good luck for this Friday night, and I wish you all the best, man.
All right. Thank you, guys. Great to see you.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Coach's Corner. Gary Parrish, Coach Jankowski, I'm Paul Tipton. Thanks for joining us. Good night. God bless. And as always, go Indians.
Thanks for watching the Coach's Corner, presented by Caps Pizza and Pub.